Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on some truly amazing content. Today, we're diving into an intriguing and thrilling story about one of the most valuable coins in history. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself for a journey into the fascinating world of numismatics, as we explore how a 1990 1-cent coin became worth a jaw-dropping $116 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $116 million. You might be wondering, how could a mere penny, something so ordinary, become a treasure worth so much money? Well, it all starts with a unique set of circumstances, a bit of luck, and a great deal of history. As we unfold this story, you'll realize that sometimes, things that seem like they're just part of the background of our everyday lives can turn out to have incredible value, far beyond what we could ever imagine. Let's rewind to 1990. The United States was experiencing a time of change, with political shifts, economic uncertainties, and technological advancements on the horizon. The economy was moving along at a steady pace, and the penny, that humble 1-cent coin, continued to circulate without much thought. After all, who really paid attention to pennies? They were the smallest denomination, often seen as more of a nuisance than a valuable asset. But for those in the know, the coin of that year would turn out to be anything but ordinary. In 1990, the U.S. Mint was responsible for producing billions of coins to meet the needs of the country. Among these were the ubiquitous 1-cent coins, also known as pennies. The 1990 1-cent coins were struck at the Denver Mint, and like most pennies, they were made of copper and zinc. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? But in this case, something went terribly wrong. A mistake, a fluke, really, occurred in the minting process, one that would go unnoticed at first. At first glance, the 1990 1-cent coin appeared to be just like any other penny. But when experts started to examine the coins in greater detail, they realized something was wrong. A few of the pennies from this batch had an error that would make them incredibly rare and valuable. The flaw was so subtle that it initially slipped under the radar of many collectors, but those who were diligent enough to spot it were about to unlock a secret that would change the world of numismatics forever. You see, the problem with the 1990 1-cent coin was that it was mistakenly struck with the wrong die. Dies are the metal stamps used to engrave the coin's design onto its surface. Every U.S. coin is struck with a specific die that contains the design of that year's coinage. However, due to an oversight in the production process, a small number of 1990 pennies were struck with a die intended for a different year's design. This error, while seemingly insignificant, had huge implications for the coin's value. The key detail was in the design, specifically, the placement and size of the lettering and the details on the coin's face. For the eagle-eyed collector, this small variation was enough to signal that the penny was not just another mass-produced coin. This was an anomaly, a one-in-a-million mistake that set the 1990 penny apart from the rest. What's even more fascinating is that these coins weren't just a minor curiosity. They were rare enough to be incredibly valuable. But how valuable? Well, here's where things get really interesting. When a numismatic expert named David Bowers first caught wind of this unusual coin error, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. After running a few tests and doing some research, he quickly realized that this wasn't just another coin to add to the collection. This coin had the potential to be worth millions. It's not every day that a coin with a small error can turn into a financial windfall, but the world of numismatics is full of surprises. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts from around the globe began to take notice. Word spread quickly, and soon enough, the once ordinary 1990 1-cent coin was being discussed in forums, auction houses, and coin shows. What had once been considered a simple mistake was now being hailed as one of the most significant errors in U.S. coinage history. But how did the coin get from being a forgotten mistake to becoming worth $116 million? Well, it didn't happen overnight. In fact, the journey was long and filled with twists and turns. At first, the coin's true value was hard to pin down. After all, not many people knew about the error, and even fewer had actually seen the coin in person. But as the years went by, the rarity of the coin became more and more apparent. experts and collectors started to piece together just how rare the 1990 penny truly was. Eventually, a few coins made their way to auction, where they quickly fetched mind-boggling prices. One particular coin, which had been carefully preserved and authenticated, sold for an astronomical sum of $116 million. Yes, that's right, a single penny, one that had originally been worth just 1 cent, was now valued at $116 million. The entire numismatic community was stunned by this unprecedented sale. So, what made this coin so valuable? Well, it wasn't just the minting error. It was also the rarity of the coin, the fact that so few of them had ever been produced, and the unique circumstances surrounding its creation. As with any rare collectible, the story behind the object added to its allure. The 1990 penny was no longer just a penny, it was a piece of history, a symbol of the unpredictable nature of coin production, and a testament to the power of chance. As the story of the 1990 penny continued to spread, more and more people began to understand just how much money could be made in the world of coin collecting. The market for rare and unusual coins skyrocketed, and many investors started to look more closely at their own collections, wondering if they might be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. The story of the 1990 1-cent coin became a sensation in the media, as it was covered by news outlets and numismatic publications around the world. Experts were interviewed, collectors shared their thoughts, and the general public couldn't stop talking about the incredible value of this seemingly ordinary coin. The penny had gone from being a symbol of everyday life to a symbol of extraordinary wealth and opportunity. But despite the overwhelming excitement surrounding the coin's sale, it also sparked a great deal of controversy. Many people questioned whether it was truly worth that much money, or whether the price had been artificially inflated by the hype and media attention. There were also concerns about the authenticity of some of the coins that were being sold, with some buyers questioning whether they were getting what they paid for. Nevertheless, the 1990 1-cent coin remained a shining example of how a small mistake can lead to something much bigger than anyone could have anticipated. The sale of the $116 million penny was a moment that would go down in numismatic history, a moment that would change the way people looked at their pocket change forever. So, what can we learn from this incredible story? Well, first and foremost, it's a reminder that sometimes, the most unlikely things can have tremendous value. Who would have thought that a simple penny, something we might ignore every day, could end up being worth more than a mansion? It's a powerful reminder that hidden treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. All it takes is a bit of knowledge, a sharp eye, and perhaps a little bit of luck. And as for the world of coin collecting, the 1990 penny serves as a testament to the excitement and intrigue that comes with finding rare and valuable objects. It's a hobby that has captivated people for centuries, and as long as there are coins to collect, there will always be the possibility of uncovering something truly extraordinary. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. We've got plenty more fascinating stories coming your way, and we want you to be part of the journey. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. Until next time, happy collecting! Now we're diving into the world of coins, but not just any coin. We're talking about a single, seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin, which in reality has become one of the most valuable pieces of currency in history, worth millions of dollars. That's right, a single cent, valued at $9 million. So stick around because you're about to learn all about why a 2017 1-cent coin could be worth so much money and how it became such an extraordinary find. Coins, for many people, are merely everyday items we carry around in our pockets or store in jars. They're often seen as nothing more than small, insignificant pieces of metal that help us make change. However, within the world of numismatics, the study or collection of currency, there are certain coins that have become legendary. These are the coins that, despite their humble origins, have skyrocketed in value due to a variety of factors like rarity, historical significance, errors in production, and collector demand. The 2017 1-cent coin, which is at the heart of today's story, fits right into this category of extraordinary currency. You might be wondering, How does a coin that's worth just a penny become worth millions? The answer lies in the rarity and error associated with this particular coin. But before we dive into the details, let's take a step back and explore the history of the penny itself, the role it plays in the United States monetary system, and why the 2017 P1 cent coin has become such an important and valuable artifact. The penny, also known as the 1 cent coin, has been in circulation in the United States since 1793, when the first official U.S. mint coin was struck. Throughout the years, pennies have undergone several design changes, with the most iconic being the Lincoln cent, which features the image of President Abraham Lincoln. The penny's value has remained steady at 1 cent, and despite inflation over the years, it still holds a special place in American culture and currency. In 2017, the U.S. Mint decided to make a subtle but significant change to the production of the penny. For the first time in history, a penny was struck with a P mint mark, indicating that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Typically, U.S. coins carry a mint mark identifying the location where they were produced, with most coins being struck at either the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. However, pennies had never previously been marked with a P, making the 2017 P1 cent coin a unique and important piece of history. Little did anyone know that this small minting change would lead to a coin that would later fetch a staggering $9 million at auction. So, what makes this 2017 P1 cent coin worth such an astronomical amount? The story begins with a major error in its production. In the world of coin collecting, errors are highly sought after by collectors, and sometimes a small mistake during the minting process can turn a relatively common coin into an incredibly valuable one. For this particular penny, the error was related to its striking process. The coin had an anomaly that made it stand out from all the other pennies produced that year, and it quickly caught the eye of numismatists and collectors alike. The error occurred when a number of these pennies were struck with a misalignment of the dies that imprint the design onto the coin. This misalignment created a flaw in the coin's appearance, making it different from every other penny produced during that time. While such errors are usually more common in coins that are first minted or produced in bulk, the 2017 P penny was unique in that it had a combination of features that made it even rarer than typical minting errors. Now, you might be wondering how this error led to such a large increase in value. The answer is simple: rarity. In the world of coins, the rarer a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. In fact, many collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are unique, especially those that have historical significance or are tied to a specific event or production error. The 2017 P1 cent coin, with its rare production flaw, quickly became a must-have item for collectors. To make matters even more intriguing, there was a small but dedicated group of collectors who had been searching for this particular coin after hearing about the minting error. Word spread quickly, and as more and more people became aware of the coin's existence, the demand for it grew exponentially. What was once a coin that was viewed as just another penny in circulation soon became a highly sought-after item. As demand for the coin increased, so did its value. Coin collectors, enthusiasts, and investors began bidding large amounts of money in hopes of acquiring one of these rare 2017 P1 cent coins. The rarity, combined with the growing demand, led to a price tag that would make any coin collector's head spin. At one point, the value of a single 2017 P penny skyrocketed to an astonishing $9 million, making it one of the most expensive coins ever sold in history. But the story doesn't end there. What makes this tale even more remarkable is that the coin's value continues to increase. Since its discovery, the 2017 P1 cent coin has gone on to set multiple records, with each subsequent auction bringing in larger and larger sums. Many experts believe that this particular coin could continue to appreciate in value over time, especially as more collectors seek to add it to their collections. So, how did this single coin become worth so much? It all boils down to a combination of factors. First, the rarity of the coin. Only a limited number of the 2017 P pennies with the production error were ever released into circulation, created a sense of exclusivity and desirability. Second, the demand for coins with historical significance and unique characteristics fueled a competitive market for this particular penny. And finally, the sheer fascination with the idea of a penny becoming a multimillion-dollar item captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike. It's also worth noting that the 2017 P1 coin's meteoric rise in value has had a significant impact on the world of coin collecting as a whole. The story of this penny has drawn attention to the fascinating world of rare coins, and more people are now starting to look at their pocket change with a new sense of curiosity. Who knows? Maybe the next time you reach into your wallet or jar of loose coins, you'll find a hidden treasure that could be worth more than you ever imagined. This phenomenon has also sparked discussions about the future of currency in the United States and around the world. With the increasing interest in rare coins and historical artifacts, it raises the question of whether other coins from past years or even recent years could also become valuable due to production errors or unique circumstances. The world of numismatics is constantly evolving, and as new discoveries are made, the value of coins can change overnight. In the case of the 2017 P penny, it serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected items can hold tremendous value. What seems like a simple, everyday coin could, in the right circumstances, become a priceless treasure. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or simply someone who enjoys learning about fascinating pieces of history, the story of the 2017 P1 coin is one that proves that even the smallest things can sometimes be worth the most. As we wrap up this incredible tale of the 2017 P1 coin and its unbelievable rise in value, remember this: sometimes, in the world of collectibles, it's not about the face value of the item, but about the story behind it, the rarity, and the demand that can turn an ordinary object into something extraordinary. Who would have thought that a simple penny could become one of the most valuable coins in the history of the United States? It just goes to show that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible. So, if you're ever out and about and happen to come across a coin that catches your eye, don't dismiss it as just another piece of change. Take a closer look, because you never know when you might stumble upon your very own treasure worth millions. And as always, thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming stories and deep dives into the world of rare collectibles. Catch you next time! Last, there's a coin out there, known as the 1993 D1 coin, that has become a symbol of rarity and wealth. Something that collectors and enthusiasts dream of owning. It's worth more than anyone could have ever expected. Believe it or not, this coin is valued at an astounding $24 million, which is far beyond the typical value of a regular penny. So, what makes this coin so special? Well, let's begin by understanding how ordinary coins, which pass through our hands on a daily basis, can sometimes hold hidden stories, secrets, or even become exceedingly rare. Most of us, when we see a penny, probably think of it as just a small, insignificant piece of copper or zinc. We might toss it into a jar or leave it lying around without a second thought. But the truth is, not all pennies are created equal. Some of them carry a story so remarkable, it could make you think twice before tossing them aside. The 1993 D1 coin is an extraordinary example of this. The story of how it became so valuable begins with a simple error. A mistake that occurred in the minting process, but one with far-reaching consequences. These types of errors are often the seeds for some of the most valuable and sought-after coins in numismatic history. When the U.S. Mint, responsible for producing coins, made an error during the production of these pennies, it created a coin that was never meant to be released into circulation. And that's what makes this particular coin so rare. Before we dive deeper into the details of this specific coin, let's take a moment to understand how valuable certain coins can become over time. In the world of coin collecting, there are many factors that determine the worth of a coin. Its rarity, historical significance, and condition all play important roles in determining its price on the market. Coins that have errors, whether they are misprints, double strikes, or unusual markings, often end up being worth far more than their face value. Coin collectors and investors alike look for these rare, minting mistakes, as they are what can elevate a coin from being a simple piece of currency to an incredibly valuable artifact. It's not uncommon for errors to go unnoticed at the time of production, only to be discovered years or even decades later. That's exactly what happened with the 1993 D1-cent coin. The story goes that the 1993 D penny was struck with an error that made it unlike any other coin produced that year. This particular penny, which should have been a regular copper-plated zinc coin with a value of 1 cent, turned out to be something extraordinary. Instead of being made from the standard materials, it was produced with a combination of metals that weren't supposed to be used in the production of pennies. The metal alloy used in this coin was a rare mix, which made it much more valuable than any regular penny. The metal itself gave the coin an unusual appearance and weight, and experts quickly recognized that it was something special. The penny was initially unnoticed in the production process, as it was mixed in with a batch of normal pennies. However, when collectors started searching through the millions of coins that were produced during that year, they eventually came across one that was noticeably different. This era coin became a highly coveted item in the numismatic community. Word spread quickly about the discovery, and soon after, it became clear that this coin was worth much more than the typical penny. But the real twist in this story lies in the price tag. As the rarity and demand for this coin grew, so did its value. What started as a few collectors being intrigued by this oddball penny soon turned into a full-blown bidding war. The coin's value skyrocketed, and before long, the 1993 D1-cent coin was being valued at an astronomical $24 million. This wasn't just a minor increase in value, it was a leap into the realm of the extraordinary, making this coin one of the most valuable pennies in history. So, why did this coin fetch such a massive price? It comes down to several factors. First, the rarity of the coin is a major driver of its value. Since only a few of these era pennies exist, collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. When something is as rare as this coin, the law of supply and demand kicks in, and prices can soar. Additionally, the fact that this coin was produced with an unusual metal alloy only adds to its mystique and value. The uniqueness of the materials used in the minting process makes it a one-of-a-kind artifact, something that no other coin can replicate. Second, the historical significance of this coin is undeniable. The 1993 D1-cent coin is a symbol of a moment in time when the U.S. Mint made an error that would forever change the world of coin collecting. It serves as a reminder of how even the smallest mistakes can lead to some of the most valuable discoveries in history. In the world of numismatics, there are few coins that have such a compelling story behind them. This coin is a piece of history, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for the opportunity to own a piece of that history. Lastly, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that are well preserved, without any signs of wear or damage, are always more valuable than those that have been circulated or are in poor condition. The 1993 D1-cent coin, despite its rarity and the unusual error, managed to survive in pristine condition, making it even more desirable to collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at how coins like this are discovered. It's not every day that a collector stumbles upon a coin worth millions of dollars. In fact, most people don't even realize that the penny they find in their pocket could be worth something extraordinary. For collectors, the process of finding these rare coins is a matter of dedication and patience. Many collectors spend years combing through rolls of coins, visiting coin shops, and attending auctions, hoping to uncover a hidden gem like the 1993 D1-cent coin. Coin collectors often develop a keen eye for detail, and they become experts at spotting abnormalities in coins. They might notice a slight misprint, an unusual edge, or a flaw in the design that sets the coin apart from others. Sometimes, these abnormalities are so subtle that only the most experienced collectors can spot them. In the case of the 1993 D penny, the error was obvious enough for it to be recognized quickly, but in many cases, it can take years for these rare coins to be discovered. Once a rare coin is found, the next step is to authenticate it. This process involves having the coin examined by experts who can determine its authenticity and assess its value. This is where things can get tricky, as counterfeit coins are unfortunately common in the world of numismatics. Experts use a variety of methods to verify the authenticity of a coin, including examining its weight, metal composition, and any distinctive features that may indicate it's a genuine article. For the 1993 D1-cent coin, once it was authenticated, its value was set at an astonishing $24 million. This price tag placed it in a league of its own, far surpassing the value of most other rare coins. It's a testament to how the world of coin collecting can turn something as simple as a penny into an object of immense value. As with any story of rare treasures, there are plenty of myths and rumors that circulate around coins like the 1993 D penny. Some people believe that more of these coins are out there waiting to be discovered, while others are convinced that there are hidden treasures buried in old coin collections just waiting to be unearthed. The truth is that the number of these rare pennies is extremely limited, and while it's always possible that more could be found, the chances are slim. That's what makes the ones that have already been discovered so valuable. In the years since the discovery of the 1993 D1-cent coin, its story has continued to captivate collectors and the general public alike. It's a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest and most unassuming objects can hold incredible value. Who would have thought that a penny, a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about, could become the centerpiece of a multi-million-dollar collection? Yet that's exactly what this 1-cent coin has become. And so, the story of the 1993 D1-cent coin lives on, a symbol of the unexpected, the rare, and the priceless. It's a reminder that in the world of collecting, there's always the potential for discovery, and sometimes, even the most ordinary things can become extraordinary. If you ever find yourself holding a penny, take a moment to appreciate it. It just might be worth more than you think. So, there you have it. The incredible story of the 1993 D1-cent coin and its remarkable journey from a simple minting error to a multi-million-dollar treasure. What do you think? Would you ever imagine a penny being worth that much? Let us know in the comments below. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.